Shalom, brothers. Welcome back to the Set Apart Man channel, where we talk about what it truly means to be a man of Yahweh in today's fallen world. Because in today's video, we're going to talk about something real, something that's destroying a generation of men, and that's the cycle of men who are financially unstable but still chasing women, having sex, and bringing children into situations they can't sustain. And here's the truth. Yahweh told us to flee fornication, not just because of physical sin, but because of the destruction it creates when a man operates outside of his order. But before we dive in, do me a quick favor. Go ahead and like this video, subscribe if you're striving to walk in truth and discipline, and drop me a comment down below answering this question. Do you think a man who's struggling financially should even be in a relationship, or should he focus completely on getting his life into order first? I really want to hear your thoughts on this one. Let me know down below. If you've ever wondered why so many men are depending on women, struggling to provide, and feeling stuck, this message is for you. Let's talk about it.
The Matrix is everywhere. It is all around us. Even now, in this very room. You can see it when you look out your window or when you turn on your television. You can feel it when you go to work, when you go to church, when you pay your taxes. It is the world that has been pulled over your eyes to blind you from the truth. What truth? That you are a slave like everyone else. You were born into bondage. Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is. You have to see it for yourself. This is your last chance. After this, there is no turning back. You take the blue pill, the story ends. You wake up in your bed and believe whatever you want to believe. You take the red pill, you stay in Wonderland, and I show you how deep the rabbit hole goes. Remember, all I'm offering is the truth, nothing more.
All praise to the Most High Yah Shalom. Thank you for tuning in to another Righteous Spirit-filled episode. Today I'm back at it in them trenches on another episode of the Set Apart Man, handling that kingdom business. Man, let's get right into it. See, brothers, Yahweh gave man a clear order for how life is supposed to function. Man leads, man provides, man protects, man covers. But when a man starts entertaining women before he's financially, mentally, and spiritually stable, he's already operating out of order. 1 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 18 says, "Flee fornication. Every sin that a man doeth is without the body, but he that committeth fornication sinneth against his own body." That means fornication just doesn't destroy your spirit. It affects your entire life structure. When a man fornicates, he opens up spiritual and physical doors that he may not be ready to handle. Unplanned children, financial responsibility, emotional manipulation, and even soul ties that drain his focus. You can't build your foundation while you're giving away your strength. Samson was strong until he gave his strength to the woman that wasn't meant for him. And many men today are doing the same thing, not with Delilah, but with casual women, lust, and undisciplined habits. You know, I want to talk about why financial instability and fornication don't mix. Let's talk practical for a moment. If you're not financially stable, meaning you don't have consistent income, a savings cushion, or a structured plan for your future, what are you really doing entertaining women? Courting a woman costs money. Sex can lead to pregnancy. Pregnancy leads to lifelong financial responsibility. And that's why so many men are struggling today. Because fornication creates outputs that Yahweh never intended for the undisciplined man to bear. You've got men having children with women they barely know, now forced to depend on the same system Yahweh told us to separate from: government aid, child support, and low-wage jobs to survive. Brothers, Yahweh never designed men to live like that. In Proverbs chapter 24 verse 27 it says, "Prepare thy work without, and make it fit for thyself in the field, and afterwards build thine house." Translation: handle your business before you build your family. But fornication flips that order. It makes men build houses before they have the tools, and then they wonder why everything is falling apart. You know, and outside of the financial aspect, men need to truly understand the spiritual and mental impact of disobedience. Let's go even deeper. When a man gives into fornication, he's not just creating a financial mess, he's creating spiritual debt. Every time you join yourself with a woman outside of a covenant, you form a tie that drains your energy, focus, and spiritual discernment. That's why after lust comes confusion. After pleasure comes emptiness. Because fornication isn't love, it's lust out of order. And Yahweh can't bless a man who operates outside of his design. Many men are wondering why their prayers aren't being answered, why doors won't open, why they can't seem to get ahead. But they're living in cycles of disobedience, giving their seed and energy to women they were never supposed to entertain. You know, we have a lot of children out here that are not taken care of, and with biblically men being the providers, you know, man, you have women out there that are getting trapped by the weak provider. Now let's talk about what happens next. Dependency. When a man who isn't financially stable engages in sexual relationships, he often ends up in a position where he's depending on a woman to survive. That's not headship, man, that's bondage. You've got men living off women, using women cars, staying in their homes, eating their food while they're claiming to be men. But Yahweh's word says in Genesis chapter 3 verse 19, by the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread. That means a man's provision is supposed to come from his labor, not a woman's. When a man depends on women financially, they lose their authority. You can't lead from a place of dependency. You can't be respected when you're not responsible. And what's worse, when children come into that picture, the cycle repeats. Sons grow up seeing dependency as normal, and daughters grow up thinking leadership is feminine. Brothers, that's not the order of Yahweh. Man, let's slow down and let's bring it back to Yahweh's design. Before Adam had Eve, he had a job, tending to the garden, a home, the Garden of Eden, and a relationship with the Most High. Only after Adam was established did Yahweh say it was not good for man to be alone. That's the blueprint. Provision before partnership, order before affection. But today, men want pleasure before purpose. And that's why so many men are falling into cycles of fornication, child support, depression, and regret. See, Yahweh isn't against sex. He's against fornication because it destroys men prematurely. See, as a man, you can't step into kingship if you're serving lust. So how does the man of Yahweh break this cycle? Here's what the set-apart man does. Number 1, he disciplines his flesh. Don't entertain women just because you're lonely or lustful. Use that time to build, pray, and grow. Number 2, focus on financial stability. Get your finances in order before involving your emotions. Pay off debt, build skills, save money, become capable of covering yourself and a family. Number 3, flee fornication. Not manage it, not play with it, flee it, which means run away from it. Avoid situations that tempt you. You can't play with fire and expect not to get burned. Number 4, seek Yahweh's timing. Wait until he says it's time for you to pursue a woman. When you move in his timing, your house is built on a firm foundation. Brothers, Yahweh's order is meant to protect us, not punish us. When he says flee fornication, he's saying, son, don't destroy your destiny over temporary pleasures. When he tells us to build before we pursue, he's saying, I want you to be able to lead and provide with strength and confidence. So ask yourself today, am I building or am I bleeding? Am I providing or am I depending? Because the set-apart man doesn't chase women. He chases purpose. And when the time is right, Yahweh will bring the right woman into his path. Man, if this message spoke to you, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with a brother who needs to hear this. And drop me a comment below. What do you think is the biggest mistake men make before they're financially stable? Drop the comment down below. Until next time, brothers, once again, this is the set-apart man, kicking it gun barrel straight. Stay focused, stay disciplined, and stay set apart.